Absorb, discard, add, my friends. Thank you for dropping in with me on this martial arts journey. As you can probably tell, it's very early morning again, about 4:30, heading off to work. Don't wanna. Man, yeah, same story. It's just each day it gets worse and worse because I really don't want to go to work anymore, just because I'm really loving doing this martial arts stuff all the time. Most nights I get about 4 hours of sleep because I'm so busy, always doing stuff. I'm not at the school that often in comparison, but between work, between going to the school, between getting everything put together, the website, all the online stuff, and still thinking of ideas and my own training, and there's a lot. It's an awful lot, but I really love it, and I just wish I had more time for it and could just do it full time. But anyways, the main thing I'm thinking about right now that I want to talk about is how I recently restructured the jiu-jitsu curriculum to do the one ground technique and one standing technique per class, and I think it's going really well. I was getting paranoid very recently, thinking people aren't learning it in depth enough, and that maybe they're not being able to retain the information as well because we're just going through it. But after thinking about it, I just reflected on the way the different approaches to learning martial arts that I've taken in my own journey is you can either, in my opinion, you can go deep with knowledge, or you can go wide, or a general mix of both. But take, for example, this is how I usually relate it. Take, for example, somebody who studies only one martial art their whole life. They dedicate their whole life to one martial art. Well, their knowledge is extremely deep in that one area, but their knowledge isn't very expansive or wide because they haven't been exposed to or practiced many different martial arts and different styles, different ways of doing things. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a great thing. Just for me personally, I'm one of those people that would rather have knowledge that is vast and wide, because I enjoy so many aspects of all different kinds of martial arts. Ever since I was young, I just like martial arts as a whole. That's just me. And so I know people are different and have different ways of looking at things. But, my downside is that my knowledge isn't extremely deep in any one area. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of different arts, but I'm not like the best Kenpoist. I'm not the best jiu-jitsu person. I'm not, the best karate man or whatever, or best aikidoka. It's just a different way of doing things. And so I personally like the way I do it, but I definitely get the people who only study one as well. So anyways, relating this back to the curriculum, the way I restructured it, it's actually exactly the way I personally like to view the martial arts, the way I like to do things, where knowledge will be vast and wide, but maybe not as deep right away, which is great. So it feels like people aren't retaining the information as well as I'd like, but on the other hand, the very big plus side is that now they're being exposed to jiu-jitsu as a whole, as an entire system of self-defense, as opposed to just going really deep and perfecting the first lesson or something, perfecting one technique, because they don't need it perfect. On the first iteration of first doing it, they don't need to have the perfect technique. They just need to get a general idea, a general feel, and see jiu-jitsu solutions to self-defense problems. And so now we've had them on the ground, we've had them standing up, we've done different kinds of chokes, different kinds of escapes, controls, distance management, lots of things. So they're learning how jiu-jitsu solves problems and attacks. They're learning how the system of jiu-jitsu will respond to these questions, and that's really good. So, and this is only the first iteration. This is only like the second day, and I'm already worried. It's just the way my mind works, but I can't help that. But I just gotta trust in it and know that it is the right way, and it will be for the better. And the more I think about it, the more I'm happy with it. So, and again, this is just the first iteration of them doing it. So they're getting exposed to jiu-jitsu from all these different angles. Maybe some things will stick because they like them, they prefer them, and maybe some things they just won't remember, and that's fine. But they'll have the terminology, they'll have the principles, they'll have the ideas, and they'll understand the way jiu-jitsu solves problems. So now when we go back through second iteration, third iteration and such, or reflex development and fight simulation, the principles will already be there. So even if they don't remember the exact technique, they'll be able to perform something very similar or do it correctly just because they understand how jiu-jitsu solves problems. So, and thinking about it like that, I think this is really going to work. I'm really excited to keep moving on like this, and and I'm thinking that using the free Jiu-Jitsu Saturdays for the people who train all week, they can work their reflex development and fight simulation together instead of continuing to learn new techniques if they want. Or they could learn new techniques, that's fine. But I think it'll be a good mix to re-practice what you learn throughout the week. And so we'll figure it out as time goes on. I'm just making it all up as I go. You know how it is. But no, it's fun. It's exciting. And that's why I want to do it all the time. I just keep saying it, the same word. I got to get a thesaurus or something, because I just keep saying how exciting it all is and how excited I am. But it's true. It's very true. So, yeah, it's crazy. I'm going to work, not wanting to. Wish I could just rent a big warehouse, something, and just run this stuff all day. We're getting there someday. I trust in it, and I know with time it'll work out. It's just I'm an impatient person. Alright, on another note, I have my friend Jason, who's an experienced martial artist, who's helping me practice and learn some fundamentals of Aikido, which is an art I've wanted to do for a very long time. Aikido and Aikijitsu. Actually learn the arts. I mean, I've practiced them, I've learned them before a long time ago, and I've studied a lot since then on my own. But having somebody there who's training in it currently and can kind of refresh me back into it, that's really exciting. So, looking forward to that, and looking forward to working with him more in the future. So, really cool stuff. Hey, I realized I didn't make a vlog yesterday. I was so tired. Work bummed me out, and just couldn't think straight. So not having a great day, and of course, actually getting to class started to feel a lot better. And after class, I got a good amount of sleep, so that was good. Feeling a lot better today, other than work. I keep saying that, but just want to do martial arts all the time. Can't stress that enough. Can't wait for the day. But yeah, class went really awesome last night. We practiced the punch block series from the closed guard, stages 1 through 4. So learning to manage the distance when somebody's between your legs, controlling their body and their position, managing that distance so that when they go to punch you from different levels, whether they're really close to you or they sit back to pull bigger punches or stand up to throw a massive punch, controlling all those distances and never letting them control it. So that was really fun. And then near the end of class, switch things up, and from standing we learned the guillotine choke. So somebody bum rushing you, trying to tackle you, take you down, learning to stop or redirect, I should say, their momentum, throw them in the bucket, as I call it, and dropped them into a guillotine choke. Really fun stuff. And everybody's doing really great at it. They're picking up quickly, and it's going to be awesome. So, talk to you guys later. So, I'm on my way to Kenpo right now. And just about an hour ago or so, I got off the phone with Jason. And so, some really good stuff happening there. Specifically that he's going to be a member of the Kokoro-Jitsu club. But also he's very experienced in martial arts, and namely Aikido. And I say namely because since he has experience and he enjoys sharing what he's learned and teaching in the art that he's worked on for so long, he'll be at the Kokoro-Jitsu club doing what I was trying to express that experienced martial artists have the option to do. Because if you're new to martial arts, you know, it's my suggestion that you start with learning the jiu-jitsu, because it's a great way to build self-confidence as you learn effective self-defense. And that's why I like to start beginners there. Plus, you know, then they can be guided and taught. Whereas if you try to learn something else but there's nobody there to guide you or teach you, you'll probably just be standing around a lot. So that's why I created the beginners program for the jiu-jitsu. Anyways, for the experienced martial artists, Jason will be the first one, and I hope there's a lot more to come, because it's the whole essence of what I tried to create the Kokoro-Jitsu club around is the idea and philosophy of what Bruce Lee's tried to abbreviate in the absorbing what is useful, discarding what is not, and adding what is uniquely your own. And by having somebody who's trained in martial arts come into the club, they're able to share what they've learned with other people who are also interested, and they can either work with current club members who are interested in learning what they have to share and teach, or they can bring in anybody they know to join the club as well, and then they can work with those people. So anybody who's a member of the Kokoro-Jitsu club will have the option of joining in with the beginners program and doing the jiu-jitsu, whether you're a beginner or not. Maybe you just want to learn jiu-jitsu, or just being at the club, you can train on your own if you already know what to do. Or if there's people like Jason there, you can train in the arts that they're sharing. Or if you're trained in an art yourself and you'd like to teach and share what you've learned, like Jason, like myself, that's what you can do there as well. You can share the arts that you love with anybody you want to who's a member of the Kokoro-Jitsu club who also wants to learn it. So it's a lot to try to digest and try to make sense of. So as time goes on, I'm hoping I can abbreviate that a lot more, figure out ways to put that into like 1 or 2 sentences so I can get the idea out quicker of what exactly I'm trying to do here. And I'm just hoping that even with all this talk that it makes some kind of sense. Basically, as a person coming in off the streets, you could think of it like this. You join the Kokoro-Jitsu club. You get a week free trial. You pay the monthly fees. And for that monthly fee, you have the option of learning any martial art you want by already having the material yourself. You can train with anybody who's there teaching or sharing, such as myself, where I teach jiu-jitsu right now, but I know a lot of other styles as well that I would love to share. I just don't have people to share them with yet, but that'll change with time as we get more students, I hope. Or you could train with somebody like Jason, who's skilled in Aikido. Or if there's somebody else in the future, train with them in Krav Maga, Savate, boxing, Wing Chun, Tai Chi, just mindfulness meditation, anything you can think of that's related to martial arts. If we have somebody there who's skilled in it, wants to share it, wants to teach it, then they're welcome to do that by being a member of the Kokoro-Jitsu club. And by you being a member, you can not only share what you love, but you can train in anything you want that's available. And if it's not available, well, then you should make it available. So, yeah, like I said, I don't know how to abbreviate that very well yet, but we'll get there. And, you know, it's funny because it's like, I remember not that long ago figuring out how in the world is all this going to work? How am I going to make everything happen? And I still have no idea, but things are getting done, and it's really cool. Just by going out there and doing stuff, whether it's right or wrong or whatever, by at least doing something, you know, I'm learning from it. I'm observing what happens when I do something and adjusting accordingly as time goes on. So just by trying different things, I've really come a long way already. And just by keep trying different things, like what I'm attempting to do now by trying to add Aikido to the group, and somebody who's skilled in it to share what he's learned with Aikido. That's something I don't know exactly all the details about yet, but I'm just going for it. I trust in it. I love Aikido myself, and I want to learn it myself, so I'm really interested in finding out more about it and getting back into it, because I did study Aikido and Jiu-jitsu a long time ago for a few years, and then a lot on my own since then. But to learn from somebody who's actually taking it currently and wants to share it and teach it, that'll be really awesome. So hopefully you can see the value in all that, and just think in the future when I'm able to have a big place all to myself and just run classes all day, every day. I don't know, maybe it'll be kind of like a YMCA type of deal with just martial arts, where you pay for the school fee, you come in and you train any martial art style or system that's available or anything related, all in the one place for the one fee. But like I said, I have no idea. I'm nowhere near that point. So just by taking these little steps here and now, you know, bring myself hopefully closer and just observe what happens when I do things and adjust accordingly, and hopefully make it all work out. So that's the goal, that's the idea, and hopefully you like that. Okay, so I think I figured it out. A shorthand version of what I'm trying to get at. So let's see how this comes out. So you're a person coming in, finding out about the Kokoro-Jitsu Club. You want to see what it's about. You walk in, try a week free, you love it, and you sign up, and you become a paying member of the Kokoro-Jitsu Club. Now, as a paying member of the Kokoro-Jitsu Club, you'll have 3 options. Option 1 is you can study an art, meaning at your discretion, you can come in and you can see what arts are currently being offered, what people are teaching, sharing, things like that, and you can join in any one you wish, or multiple, or swap any way you like. Like if you want to do jiu-jitsu for the first 15 minutes of class, and then go do Aikido for the next half hour, and then work on your own for the last bit of class, excuse me, anything you want. Do it different days of the week, train some for a few months, and then another for another, it doesn't matter. So that's option 1, study an art. Option 2 is to train an art. So say you come into the Kokoro-Jitsu Club, you're a member, and you don't necessarily want to train in the arts that are being offered, or you only want to train in them part of the time, but you want to do your own stuff as well. Say you're a Kyokushin fighter, and you have a lot of Kyokushin training, but there's no Kyokushinkai karate dojo around. So you can come in and you can train your Kyokushin. You already know the material, you already know what you're doing, you know drills, you know Hojo Undo, which is exercises and supplementary skills to build your physique and your mind. You can work on your own. So you can come into the Kokoro-Jitsu Club, and as a member, you can train your art as well as study an art. If you want to study some of the, maybe jiu-jitsu for a little bit, and train your own art, up to you. So option 1, study an art. Option 2, train an art. And option 3, which is the coolest I think, and which is why I created the Kokoro-Jitsu Club to begin with, because this is something I wanted to do myself, but nobody would let me, so I had to open my own school to do it, is you can share an art. I don't want to say teach an art, because I don't want, I don't know, personally, this is just me personally, there's nothing against it, and I might change my mind, but I just don't like the connotations behind having a teacher and a student kind of thing. Maybe that's just because I'm against being a teacher myself. But that'll probably change with time. I am enjoying teaching the jiu-jitsu that I'm doing now, so I'm not going to stick to that. But for now, I'm going to say share an art is the third option. And so the way that works is, as a paying member of the Kokoro-Jitsu Club, you come in, and you can, if you have an art you love doing, like I said before, say it was Kyokushin or Savate or boxing or anything that's not currently on offer, being taught by somebody else, or even if it is jiu-jitsu, but say it's 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu and not Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. It's, jiu-jitsu, but it's different. Or it's sport jiu-jitsu, and you're not concerned about self-defense, you just want to do sport and tournaments, then you can come in, and if you can find people to train with, other people who are either currently members of the Kokoro-Jitsu Club, or people you can find to come in, try it out and sign up and join the Kokoro-Jitsu Club. If you can find people who want to train your art, your style, your system with you, then you can share your art, or teach it. I just don't want to say teach it because it leads to some weird connotations, like I said. But anyways, so that's option 3, share your art. So let's go over it again. The 3 options when you join the Kokoro-Jitsu Club: 1, study an art; 2, train an art; or 3, share an art. So hopefully that helps it make more sense. And that's what I'm aiming for. And any questions, because I'm still trying to figure this all out, please let me know. So talk to you later, guys.